All right, guys, how's it going? All right, this is the July live stream. I was not able to do a live stream in June because I was on a really cool trip at the Tomon Gearhead University event over in Germany. So I'm gonna kind of cruise for a few minutes here. Let a few more people get on the live stream, and then we'll get into some questions and kind of news about the channel, upcoming videos, that kind of stuff. News about me, about my arm. It's healing really well, fortunately. Awesome. Good to see everybody on here. So as you can see, like usual, I've got my popcorn. This is like a light butter popcorn though. I'm trying to take it easy. Mmm. Got some tea. Oh, Robert Baker's streaming right now. Oops. All right. Cool. What kind of tea? It's like an orange. It's like an orange tea. Um, Pazo, Pazo, I think is the name of it. Yeah. All right, guys. So, how's everybody doing? All right, cool. We got quite a few people on here already, so I'm just gonna start with some kind of general updates. Um, First of all, a lot of questions about my arm, my left arm, how the recovery is going. Let me tell you a little bit about that. I was actually going to do a more formal update video about my arm, and I still am going to do that. I actually kind of shot some of it already, but I just ended up like other videos kind of came up that I wanted to release instead. So I don't know if you guys can see on the camera here. Can you see this here? Yeah. So that's the scar from my surgery. And what they do is for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, a while back, a few months ago now, I tore my bicep tendon. You can tear it at the top, you can tear it at the bottom, and I tore it down here, and it was a complete tear, so the tendon actually ripped completely off the bone in my arm. So what they do for the surgery to fix that, they make an incision here on the arm, and they have to grab the tendon, that's still attached to the muscle. They have to like pull it down, stretch it down, and then what they do is they actually drill a hole completely through one of the bones in your forearm, and then they take like a pin and they pin the tendon, and they put that pin all the way through the hole in the bone, and then on the other side of the bone they have like an anchor thing like that like spreads out on the other side of the bone, so that keeps the pin from pulling out of the bone. So theoretically, from what I've heard, it's once it's healed, it's actually stronger than the uninjured tendon because you have that pin in there and everything. That's what they tell me. I'm not going to test it, of course, but anyway, so I had that surgery. This is about 3 months ago that I had the injury and then the surgery. Some of you guys, you probably saw a couple of videos that I did where I was in a cast. I had a cast on my left arm. And then I had a couple of buddies of mine, Dan Mum and also Deacon Lacrosse, who came down and helped me, continue to do some review videos. So they were playing the guitar, and then I was just like sitting there with my arm in a brace, asking them what they thought about it, that kind of thing. It actually worked out really good. Oh yeah, good question on here. So how did I injure my arm to begin with? It was just a really stupid accident. I was moving some furniture, and I was carrying this huge like it's a bed support. It's like the thing that if you want to raise the mattress higher, there's this big box that goes underneath the mattress, and I was carrying that. It was like literally like 3 o'clock in the morning, carrying it like this. I had this arm stretched down, so it's taking all the weight, and it stretched it out and just it made like a nasty, like a Velcro ripping sound. And, I don't recommend it to anybody. So that's how I injured it. But anyway, as far as the recovery, it's been really, really good. The surgery went great. Big shout out to my orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Anthony DiGiacomo. He did an awesome job. They warned me that there was the potential for irritating the nerves in the arm, and they said if that happens, there was a possibility that I wouldn't be able to feel anything in my arm for 6 months, which would have sucked, but that did not happen. It was like something they had to be careful for, but it did not happen. Uh, it, and I wasn't able to play guitar for about 2 months, maybe 10 weeks ish. Um, and at first, it was kind of funny when I could the first thing I could do on the guitar was I could play the guitar by holding the guitar up on my leg and then playing like this, but I couldn't play it down like that. That was because when you screw up that muscle and that tendon attachment, you can't rotate your hand anymore, and so my hand was stuck like this. I couldn't flatten it out for a while until it healed. But like I said, the recovery has gone really, really good. I've got full range of motion back in my wrist and my arm. It's still not, the strength is not completely back, but I can move it. I have full range of motion, and I can play guitar again, which is the big thing. And so this kind of, oh yeah, I'll show you guys that. So this whole situation with my arm and the recovery, this kind of goes into the next thing I wanted to talk about. In that I went to at the beginning of June, I went on this really cool trip to Germany because Thomann, which is this big music company, music equipment retailer company over in Germany, they invited me and a bunch of other, it wasn't just me, it was a bunch of other like YouTube people and music company, equipment companies and that kind of stuff. Invited a bunch of people over there. They had this event called the Thomann Gearhead University. They'd done it once before, and then they did it, again this year. I think this was the second year they did it. And it was really, really cool thing. But I was really nervous because I wasn't sure if the recovery of my arm was going to be good enough to where I would even be able to play guitar when I came over. But like it kind of came together like a week or two before, where I was really able to start playing again. So I tried to like practice as much as I could without irritating anything with the injury, to kind of blow the dust off, to where I could actually play guitar when I went to Germany. But it worked out. I mean, there was a window of about 2 weeks in there where everything came together. Yeah, so I'm still, I'm starting to get back into the gym now to where I can strengthen up, kind of get the strength back that's missing in my left arm. But again, I was really fortunate in that I had a really great surgeon. He did a really good job. And so yeah, it sucked. I don't recommend anybody do that. But considering everything that happened, I'm really happy with how the recovery has gone, that kind of stuff. So the other thing, again with the Thomann event over in Germany, it was really, really cool. It was like 5 days or something like that. I shot altogether, I think I shot like 15 or 16 videos while I was over there. A couple of those I've released already. You guys have probably seen that, but just over the next few months, every week or every couple of weeks, I'll be releasing one of those videos. Some of them are interviews with people, and some of them are reviews, of products and things like that. The other thing, guys, if you haven't already noticed, I've kind of officially switched to consistently doing 2 videos a week. For a while, I was doing one every week for sure, and then sometimes I would do a couple, you know, during the week. But now, like, part of it is because I have all this material that I shot over at Tomon, and also I've just gotten more efficient with how I make my videos. So I'm doing Monday and Thursday right now, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, LA time, as we like to say. And so yeah, I'm pretty much going to be doing 2 videos a week, for the foreseeable future. I don't think I'm going to go to more than that unless I do more live streams or something like that. But I like to, I like to put a lot of time and dedication into my videos. And I feel like if I was doing more than 2 a week, I don't know, that's not enough time. It's like not everybody sees the video right away. Sometimes it takes a couple of days for people to like, oh, hey, there's a new video. I'll get around to watching it. And if I was releasing a video like every 2 days or every 3 days or something like that, I think it would just, I don't know if we really need that many videos, right? So, yeah. So something else here. First of all, I'm going to eat a little popcorn because I love popcorn, and it's getting cold. Would anybody like some popcorn? All right. It's delicious. Okay. The other thing, guys, I want to grab some of these guitars and show you, give you a little preview of some stuff that I'm going to be reviewing soon. Okay, guys. So a lot of people have been asking me about this. You see it in the background of my videos. Oh man, this is awesome. So you might recognize this guitar. This is a Michelangelo Badio signature rocket guitar. This is made by Dean. Now, Dean did not make the original of this guitar. Dean did sort of like a reissue of it. And they actually didn't make very many of them. I think they only made 200 or 250 of these guitars. And so I'm really, really stoked that I was able to, I got this used actually, although it's basically in brand new condition. 29 frets, as you can see. And the top is aluminum, has this aluminum plate on the top. It's got a Floyd Rose, a nice 1000 series Floyd Rose. Yeah, 29 frets, awesome. It balances surprisingly well. There's actually, with these bars back here and everything, there's a good amount of weight in the body, so even with this massively long neck, it doesn't have any bad neck dive or anything like that. So don't worry. Yes, I'm going to be doing a review, a very lengthy review involving a guest vocalist. Actually, just a little hint. I'm going to do the review, but we're going to do a cover of a Nitro song. And I'm going to use this guitar, of course. So I think that's quite fitting. Anyway, guys, obviously there's some other people involved in that video, so it's taking me a little bit longer. But that is coming down the pipeline. Okay. Okay, another thing that I've got going on is I will be doing a follow-up video for this guitar. This is a knockoff Fender, not a real Fender Stratocaster. And, unfortunately, I'm not playing authentic with this guitar. But I did a review, or I did a demo of this guitar a while back, and basically what sort of mods you can do, cheap, budget mods, upgrading a Strat type guitar on a budget. Since I've done that video, I've done some more mods on this thing, and this is really, really cool. Check out this pickup setup, guys. You see that? Okay, so check this out. Look at this bridge pickup here. Okay, you got a rail humbucker, You got a regular single coil, and that's in one unit. You got another single coil in the middle, and you got another rail humbucker in the neck. Okay, and check this out. It's got a nice 5-way switch, right? Standard 5-way switch. But then we've got can you see that? We got a push-pull in the volume knob. Okay, so what you can do is not only can you use all of these pickups as if it was a regular Strat, but you can split the neck pickup and you can split the bridge pickup. So you can have, like the bridge pickup as an example, you can have the whole thing turned on, or you can split it and just have the single coil on, or you can just have the rail humbucker on. Standard middle pickup, single coil middle pickup, which honestly I don't use very much, but I wanted to leave it in there just to have more options. And then the neck pickup with the push pull, again, you can split the neck pickup. So you can still get a traditional single coil tone out of that. Or you can have, which is really what I prefer, you can have the humbucker sound out of the rail pickup. So it's really, really cool. And I like the pearloid pick guard, and it's got the matching back plate. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to do, like I said, a follow-up review of this guitar coming soon. And I'm also going to talk about, again, this is a knockoff guitar. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the slightly weird things about the body shape and everything, some ways that you can identify that this is not a genuine Fender. Yeah. All right. All right, guys, and then a few other things just in the background here. I've got a couple of Squires that I'm going to be doing. Damn, I missed that. There was an interesting comment there. I missed it. I've got a couple of Squires here that I'm going to be reviewing soon. A lot of people have been asking me to check out the new Contemporary series from Squire. So this is really cool, guys. Check this out. Jazzmaster. George Lynch. Yeah. George Lynch is fantastic. Weird left-hand technique for sure, but awesome player. Okay, so again, guys, this is one of the reviews coming up. Really cool. Squire. It's a Squire Jazzmaster. None of these guitars are expensive. These are all pretty affordable. Active pickups, active humbuckers. This is the Jazzmaster Contemporary Active HH, I believe, is the model name, and it's in like that seafoam green, right? So, definitely very cool. It plays fantastic. And I also have, a Squire Stratocaster, again from the Contemporary series. Really, really cool. So it's like the high-end Squire. It's like the high-end Squire models. Really cool stuff. Very affordable. We're talking $300, $350 in that range. And they really, really, really play great. All right, guys. So those are some previews of some of the guitars I'm going to be reviewing in the future. And basically, because I'm doing 2 videos a week, I'm going to be doing one of those videos is going to be a traditional review video, like a review of a guitar or an amplifier or something like that. And then the other video that week is going to be like an interview or one of my kind of like infotainment videos, like what's the deal with Chris and Pelletieri, that kind of thing. So one video a week will be a review of a product, some piece of equipment, and the other video is going to be more like informational, right? So an interview, or doing a biographical video talking about a particular guitar player, or it'll be like a lesson video teaching a lick, something like that, or maybe even a like the video, like a mod video, doing some kind of upgrade, that kind of thing. Another video I'm working on, speaking of upgrades and mods, another video I'm working on is I'm doing a collaboration video with a good friend of mine here in LA. He's a really, really good guitar tech. And so what we're doing is we went and we bought the cheapest guitar that we could find at the local guitar center. It was about $75. And we're taking that guitar and like under a certain budget, I think we're trying to, I think, yeah, we bought it for 75 and then we're going to do $75 worth of mods to that guitar. So the whole guitar won't cost more than $150, but we're changing the pickups out. We're changing maybe the tuners, the nut, doing all these mods. So you can basically take a guitar that's really junky. Well, anybody could go into any local guitar shop and buy a guitar like this, and then you can do some simple, inexpensive mods and turn it into a great playing guitar. That's the idea of the video. So that's coming soon, and I really think you guys will find it interesting. And this guy, this buddy of mine, who's a guitar tech, he's got some really cool stuff that he's kind of going to share with us. All right, guys. So that's kind of kind of some general updates and stuff. So if there are any questions out there, I'll go ahead and answer those now. I mean, I'll read stuff off the comments. I know I should have announced this. I only announced this live stream a few days ago, so I should have done that earlier, but I've just been kind of busy with things. Oh, and by the way, I just had a birthday. My birthday was on July 3rd, day before the 4th of July. So happy birthday to me. Is somebody asking about Samick guitars in there? I have played a Samick. I don't know the model number of it, model name, I should say. It's sort of like an SG kind of thing. And it was a good guitar. I feel like Samick is a brand that's, not a lot of people, it doesn't get that much attention, so maybe it would be a good brand for me to check out, right? Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for the birthday wishes. There's another question there about the Dean MLs. I like a lot of Dean guitars. I can't say I like them all, but of course the ML is such a classic. It's such a classic shape, such a cool guitar. And there's a lot of variations on the ML that are really cool. There's somebody asking about the Boaz 1 modular guitar. I'm sorry, I have not heard of that. I'll have to look into that. Let's see here. Since we're on the live stream and this is real talk here, I want to tell you guys about a weird problem that I've been running into lately. I get companies these days, contacting me a lot, and they want me to review some product they have. And I try to always, I don't want to just take anything and review it, even if they're giving it to me. I don't want to, because not everything is that interesting. I try to find a balance between something that I think is interesting, something that I think the audience will think is interesting, and maybe something I haven't reviewed before, because I don't want to just do the same stuff all the time. But I get company after company after company asking me to review their pedal board. No pedals, just the board, right? I have gotten probably half a dozen in the past few months companies, can we send you our pedal board for you to review? And again, it's just the board. It's like flat aluminum with some Velcro on it. What? I'm not going to review pedal boards. How do I make that interesting? I mean, I could like run over it with my car or something like that. And like, that'd be a great clickbait title, right? What happens if I run over my pedal board? It's just not going to be that interesting. So big apologies to those companies. I think one company actually just like, I didn't even ask for it and they just mailed it to me. And now I'm like, what am I going to do with this? You know? Whew. Again, guys, thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, popcorn. I love the popcorn. I've had a lot of popcorn lately. Oh, here's something I can talk about. Speaking of popcorn, I saw a couple of movies recently in the movie theater. And I love going to the movie theater because I get the popcorn, right? So I'm in California. We had two earthquakes recently, back to back. One on the 4th, one on the 5th. And I'm in Los Angeles. The earthquakes were not centered in Los Angeles. They were in a place called Ridgecrest, which is like up north. It's kind of in the desert. And so they were far enough away where it wasn't a lot of, there wasn't any damage or anything. I didn't, none of the guitars came crashing down. But the one that happened on the 5th, which was like a 7 point something, it was a pretty big earthquake. But again, it was not right here. It was kind of far away. Well, I was watching the new Spider-Man movie, and the earthquake hit during the movie, and they had to like stop the movie, and they had to evacuate everybody from the movie theater. And I left my popcorn in the theater. And so I didn't get to finish my popcorn. And it was just, I was sitting there and I was thinking, why me? What have I done to deserve not being able to finish my popcorn? And then, but then they gave me some free passes so I could come back again. So it's okay. I have forgiven the universe for denying me that popcorn. And I have more popcorn today, so it's even better. Now, I don't want to give anything away, but I liked the new Spider-Man movie. It was excellent. The movie I saw before that one was this weird, sort of creepy, scary movie called Midsummer. And if you guys saw Hereditary, I believe it's by the same director who made that. And it's a weird movie for sure. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it's interesting for sure. Anybody in here? You guys seen that movie? No. All right, guys. Hey, Hellcat. I see you, man. Hellcat. Thanks for being in here, man. I always enjoy reading your comments. All right. All right, guys. I'll take a few more questions here. Real quick, something else I want to mention. When I was over at the Tomon event in Germany, I mentioned I did some interviews and some videos with other YouTubers. So if you guys haven't already seen my interview with Pete Thorne, it's that came out a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a really interesting interview. It's a longer video. It's about 20 minutes. I think that scared away a few people. Honestly, not a lot of people watched that video. I was a little bummed about it because it's really interesting. He's a really interesting guy. Of course, he's really successful here on YouTube. But he also had some really interesting things to say about being a touring guitarist in the current music scene and with the industry the way it is. So Pete was really really cool. I also did a really cool interview with China Guitar Skeptic, Mike from that channel. Really cool. We talk about the Chibsons and the copy guitars, and a big video the most recent video that I released was this interview with Alan Abbasi from Fender, and we talked about counterfeit guitars and so forth. Really very timely video with all of the play authentic Gibson stuff that's going on right now. So, but I'm really happy that so many people are watching that interview. And I do have a second interview with that same guy from Fender, which is about how Fender comes up with new designs. So like, because they have such a long history and there's so much tradition with the Fender brand, how do they balance keeping that old, keeping the legacy and keeping the tradition, but also coming up with something that's new and interesting. And he had some really cool things to say about that. I also have another interview with Steve from Boston. You know Steve from Boston, Pixie Licks. He's got a really cool channel. I love his videos. We had a really cool talk. It's another video that's coming out, that will be coming out, that we shot over at Tomon. Some more Harley Benton stuff that I shot while I was over there, and just a lot of really cool stuff coming out. All right, guys. So let me take a few more questions here. Oh, okay. Somebody's asking about will I be teaching, or getting lessons again? I get emails about that here and there because I have on my website. If you go to maxwell.com, Maxwell spelled with 3 X's, or maxcarlisle.com, or guitarmaxmusic.com, it all goes to the same website. I have a page on there about Skype guitar lessons, which I used to do. My problem now is my schedule with all my YouTube stuff that I'm doing, and all the other just life things. I don't have time to do lessons for people on a regular basis. Sometimes I can still do one-off things here and there, but my schedule is too convoluted to do, like, okay, every Friday at 3 o'clock we'll do a lesson. Like, I can't do that stuff. It is something I want to get back to doing. Realistically, it's not going to be that soon. Best case scenario, maybe 6 months or something like that. So to the people who ask me about that, I'm sorry I can't, I don't have more time to do that stuff. And I really enjoy doing it. But yeah, I'm sorry. One thing I will say about that, though, is I'm working on some more instructional clips. So lesson videos that I'll be releasing here on YouTube. And also I'm working on a longer format instructional video that's just going to, like a lot of the stuff I play on my channel, very traditional, blues-based shred, if you want to call it that. Very, traditional rock guitar licks, kind of Michael Schenker stuff, a little bit of Yngwie. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of taking all that stuff. I'm kind of approaching it like, if you're just starting out, you can absolutely learn something from here. But there's also a few licks in there that are more advanced, so it'll have something for somebody who's just starting out. I do include some theory in there, but you don't have to know the theory in order to play the licks. It's an instructional video, but there's also like a tab thing that comes with it, which shows in detail all of the licks I play. So if you don't understand theory, you can just copy the lick the way it's written or the way I played in the video and just learn it by memory. But then I also do talk about how that lick fits into theory just in a larger sense. So it's like, okay, if you need to change it into a different key, you do this, and so forth and so on. It's using this scale, these notes within the scale. You can do a different position, different mode, things like that. So I'm just trying to do it in a very accessible way. If you're just starting out, you'll be able to use it and get something out of it. And if you're a more intermediate to advanced player, there'll be something in there for you too. So something I'm working on right now. Hopefully I'll have it done in sometime in the summer. That's really all I can hope for at this point. All right, guys. I'll take a few more questions. Yeah, somebody's asking me about the new apartment. So I'm in a new place. I'm in a new part of town. When I moved in was when I injured my arm. But now that I'm kind of settled in here and I've got my guitar racks on the wall and everything, it's awesome. I'm in a much better area than I was before. I used to live in kind of like a bad part of town, and it was real noisy at night. My car got broken into in my own parking garage. which sucked. And just so where I am now, it's a much better part of town, much more relaxing. You know, there's like a nice neighborhood out here. You want to go take a walk or something. Guys, there's a lot of really nice comments on here. Just people, saying that they really just enjoy the channel and the videos, and I love to hear that stuff. One of the things that really just makes my day is that there are so many positive comments on my channel. And I'm not just talking about comments that people are giving me, but when other people are talking to each other on my channel, on my videos, the vast majority of the comments are really positive. And I love to see that, because you guys know how bad the comment section is on YouTube normally. So yeah, sometimes people get in arguments on there, but it's really, really cool to see people helping each other out, and like, hey, check out this other video if you want to learn more about this. I love seeing that stuff. So thanks, guys. Let's see here. Oh, somebody's asking about some Gus G guitars that I have right there. So this is kind of cool. I'll show you these. This is cool because this is actually another video that I've got coming up. All right, guys. So something I want to do, this video is going to be like old Gus G versus new Gus G. So I've got, this is the LTD, the ESP LTD, the Gus G signature model. Okay, he was with ESP for a long, long time. And then I also have the new Jackson Gus G model. And so yeah, so I've got both of these, and these are both right in the same price range. Of course, they don't make this one anymore, right? The LTD they don't make anymore. He left, he went to Jackson, so I understand why they don't make it anymore. But these, when this was being made, these were both right in the same price range. Same body shape, same control layout, different pickups, and of course, slightly different construction. The neck on this one is painted. This is just like a bare wood neck. So I'm going to do a video comparing these two guitars. And just off the top of my head, I can tell you that I think the LTD plays a little bit better for me, but I think the tone of the Jackson is better. They're both great though. They're both awesome guitars. But off the top of my head, that's kind of how I felt it. But they both have nice big jumbo frets on them and everything, and yeah. Let's see here. Oh, another difference. This one is 24 frets. This one's 22. Although I know that they made a 24 fret LTD version, but it was a little bit later on. This is kind of like a mid run. Anyway, really cool guitars. If you have a chance to get one, I would definitely recommend it. Because sometimes, like the LTD ones, because they're discontinued now, sometimes you can pick these up for super cheap, like 200 or 300 bucks or something like that. So if you can get one, and if you like the body shape, I totally recommend it. But yeah, that's another video that's going to be coming soon, just comparing these two guitars. All right, guys. Okay. Any more questions you guys got? Jack Power, -5 points. Somebody's asking, how do I keep my neighbors happy with all these amps and guitars? Well, I just assume they love to listen to me play guitar, right? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Somebody's asking, have I ever built a guitar? I've never completely built a guitar like from the ground up. I've taken parts and bolted them together. I've done that, but that's about as close as I've gotten to that. It would be cool. One thing though, Dan Thompson over at the Guns and Guitars channel, he does a lot of really cool guitar builds, like DIY stuff. Really, really cool stuff. I kind of don't really think I could really compete with the videos that he does on that topic. So if you're looking for videos like that, I totally recommend his channel, Dan Thompson over at Guns and Guitars. Also, he's doing a really crazy thing. He's like living on the road, like him, he's married, he's got a couple kids. They sold their house and bought like a huge RV, and they're doing this thing where they're like driving across the USA in the RV, and like they're just gonna like live like seeing the country and this kind of thing. But he's continuing to do his YouTube videos while he's doing that. Like he set up a little miniature guitar shop that's built into the RV, so he can keep doing his YouTube videos and keep doing all these like DIY stuff. So it's pretty crazy. All right, guys. So I'm just looking through these comments here. Anybody else want some popcorn? Here you go. All right. All right, guys. So we're about 45 minutes in. Any more questions? Oh, something I should do. I should plug my Patreon page here. Patreon.com/GuitarMax if you want to get more involved in something I do on there is a lot of the time when I have a new video coming out, I will release the video a little bit ahead on the Patreon page. The other thing that I've been doing for like some of the videos I shot at Tomon, like the Pete Thorne video, I actually posted a pre-release copy of the Pete Thorne interview on Patreon because I was concerned that maybe the video was too long. Should I break it up into different parts? This kind of thing. So sometimes I'll do that. Like if I have like an edit that I'm not 100% sure on, and I'm kind of curious about how people will react to it, I'll post it on the Patreon, get some feedback on it from people on there, and then I'll maybe make some changes to it before I do a public release of it. So if you guys want to get involved in that stuff, kind of like beta testing my videos or something, definitely check out the Patreon page. Somebody's asking a question about an Ibanez guitar. It looks like an RG. That's something I haven't really actually I do have an Ibanez right here. Let me grab it for you. Oh, by the way, I found this recently at a local record shop. Nitro OFR on vinyl. Pretty awesome. Check out that. Awesome. All right. But yeah, I do have this Ibanez RG. So this is a guitar I've never featured this on my channel before. This RG with EMGs. 3-way, single volume, single tone, pretty standard. I've had this guitar for a long, long time, and this is, I kind of played it so much that it has a lot of fret wear now. This is not an expensive guitar. It's just, kind of a cheaper one that I had some different pickups put in. And I've had this for many, many years. It's set up for D standard tuning. I've got a nitrous oxide system sticker on the back there. And yeah, this was a guitar I just, back when I was doing solo like shows, Maxwell Carlisle band shows I used to do, I played this guitar a lot in there. And yeah, I really love, the flat, it's the Wizard 2 neck on this one. Very, very flat, kind of a thin, flat D-shaped neck. But honestly, I can't really think of like a good excuse to do a video about this guitar. It's a workhorse though, find something like this You can get these for a few $100 and maybe put some cool pickups in there, and yeah. Yeah, this one stays in tune. Okay. All right, guys. All right, guys. Any other questions? Fret level midnight. Somebody's asking about Charvels and 24 frets. You know, they've got some new ones that have 24 frets. So somebody's asking me, I think they've asked me a few times, are all of these guitars mine? Yes, they are all mine. I think so. Yeah, these are all mine. Yeah. Okay. There's a cool question on here. So somebody's asking, you know, when I was over at the Thomann event in Germany a few weeks ago, the Thomann Gearhead University, who did I have a good time hanging out with? So the whole trip over, like the whole event itself went really, really smoothly. It was great. Hung out with a lot of cool people. It was, you know, got a lot done. Like I said, I think I got like 15 or 16 videos done while I was over there. On the way back, though, there were a lot of problems. So I had to fly. I live in Los Angeles. It was in Germany, right? So I had to take a bus to Nuremberg, Germany, fly from Nuremberg to Amsterdam, fly from Amsterdam to Salt Lake City, and then fly from Salt Lake City to Burbank, California. On the way back, the flight from Nuremberg to Amsterdam was about an hour and a half late, like delayed taking off and everything. So by the time I landed, my connecting flight had already gone. So I missed my connection in Amsterdam. So I had to spend a night, because they didn't have another flight until the next day. So I had to spend that night in Amsterdam, wait there, and then like 10 o'clock the next morning, I got another flight from Amsterdam to Salt Lake City and then went to Burbank. But there were me and like a few other YouTube people who were all had the same problem. And so it was like Glenn Fricker was there, you know, Spectrasound. Phil McKnight, I think, was there. Wait, no, he wasn't there. Steve from Boston was there, and Nathan Navarro, the bass guy, he was there. So we were all stuck in Amsterdam. Now I know everybody's like, oh, Amsterdam, I bet you had a good time. Okay, no. Here's the problem. We couldn't get our luggage because the luggage was still like they couldn't get it out of the airport, or some customs thing or something. I don't know. So we didn't have our luggage, and in case you don't know, Amsterdam, it gets very cold. So like I'm cruising around in a t-shirt at night in Amsterdam. It's cold. Okay, so the airline, you know, set us up in a hotel. It was a really nice hotel. They had an awesome buffet. So we basically just hung out at the hotel and like gorged ourselves on the buffet food. It was really cool. But the next morning, when I got on the flight, you know, Amsterdam to Salt Lake City, Salt Lake City to Burbank, on the way back, they lost my luggage. Fortunately, I had like my cameras and my hard drive, my backup hard drive, I had carried that with me in my carry-on. So I didn't lose, you know, like the footage I'd shot over there or anything like that. That would have been terrible. But I did look like, but like, you know, all my clothes and that kind of stuff, a bunch of like, I got a bunch of these, like these peanut candy bars called Mr. Tom's. They have in Germany. Like I got a whole bunch of those and I stuck them in my luggage. But then I also had like an audio interface and some things like that. So that was all in the luggage. And I got to Burbank and the luggage wasn't there. And then there was this I make a long story short, I did eventually get the luggage back, but it was really bizarre. It's like it gotten left in Amsterdam for some reason, and then they realized it was there, and so they shipped it, but they shipped it to Seattle. I don't know why. And then from Seattle, they were like, okay, we got to send this down to Burbank, but for whatever reason, it got a connecting flight, and so it got shipped to San Francisco. And then from San Francisco, it was supposed to go to Burbank, but then like that flight got canceled. It was the crazy thing. So it took a while, but I did finally get the luggage back, and I got the Mr. Tom's candy bars back. I would show you one, but I've eaten them all. So anyway, but yeah, the whole point of that story was I had a really good time hanging out with those guys uh, in at the hotel buffet in Amsterdam. It was really cool. Steve from Boston is a real kick in the pants to talk to. Very animated guy. Uh, and Nathan and Glenn, of course, all those guys are really cool. All right, okay, guys. Okay, so real quick, guys, there's a question on here about somebody they're starting out playing guitar and they don't know what they should learn first, right? Like, how do you really get started learning guitar? This is a great question. This is actually a question I get a lot. One thing I want to point out here is that learning songs, like a song on a radio or your favorite song, whatever, learning a song, that's one skill. That is its own skill. Improvising is a different skill. Writing your own music is another different skill. And if you really want to be crazy, if you want to learn to sight read sheet music, that's a completely different skill. These are all very, very different skills. If you only do one, you're going to miss out on all the others. So one, I don't want to say problem, but one challenge that people run into when they start playing guitar is like, oh man, I want to play guitar and I really want to play Wonderwall or something. They pick some song that they want to learn. And so they start learning songs. It's real easy to fall into the trap of being just like a cover guitar player where you only know how to play songs and you memorize them and you get them down and you can go be in a cover band. You can perform that way and play all these songs that you've memorized. But you don't have any idea of what the theory is, what scales they're using in the song, what key they're in. You don't really know any of this stuff. And you can learn thousands of songs just by memory. That won't help you learn to improvise or even learn to write your own music. Those are completely different skills. So, yeah, I know I just threw out Wonderwall. Okay, you don't have to learn that. So, my whole point with this is when you're first starting to learn the guitar, you want to try to do a little bit of everything. Playing to a backing track, like learning a few basic scales, like your minor pentatonic scale, your natural minor, regular major scale, and maybe like a harmonic minor, like maybe 4 different scales or something. Learn a few of those scales and then play to backing tracks and practice your improvisation. Also, if you learn scales, in the process of learning scales, you can learn how chord progressions work and how harmony works. That will give you the tools you need to write your own music, to come up with your own riffs and have them make sense and that kind of thing. So you want to, again, so you want play the backing, learn a few scales, play the backing tracks. That works on your improvisation. You can learn to read tablature, or you can learn stuff by ear. Learn some songs, like complete songs, so you can sit down and if you talk, you go to I don't know, a party, or somebody comes over, hey, you got a guitar? Hey, play me something, right? They don't want to hear an original song. They don't want to hear you improvise. They want to hear a song that they recognize, right? So, you can learn a few songs by ear or learn them off of tablature. So just my whole point is you want to do a little bit of everything, because it's really easy to just, it's really easy to just focus too much on one thing. A classic example that I like to talk about is a classical musician, right? like a violinist in an orchestra. They are probably really, really good at sight reading. Ask a, okay, you can take a classical musician, somebody who's been playing like 10 years, and let's say they can sight read flawlessly. Maybe they've even memorized some complete pieces to perform. Ask them to improvise. Forget it. Okay, they cannot do it. It's, and I'm not trying to knock those people. It's a completely different skill. So improvising, playing songs from memory, writing your own music, and sight reading, four completely different skills. So when you're first starting to learn to play the guitar, you want to make sure you do a little bit of everything. I hope that helps. But yeah, I think probably in terms of technical things, the first stuff you want to learn, obviously beyond how to tune the guitar, I think you want to learn like movable chords, like bar chords or power chords, where you can take the same chord shape and move it around the neck to get different chords. Like movable chords, I would learn those first, and then a few fundamental scales like the pentatonic scales, the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic, which is actually just the second shape of the minor pentatonic, and then the natural minor and a natural or regular major scale. I would learn that stuff first. All right, guys, any more questions here? Yeah, guys, I love doing these streams. I love talking to everybody on here. Yeah, so somebody's asking if I have any more trips planned. No, nothing right now. Honestly, my main focus right now is, you know, continuing to make YouTube videos and just being as consistent as I can with that. And I'm working on this an instructional, a long, full-length instructional video. I'm working on that too. All right, I'm just looking for some more questions here. Guys, one question I get all the time is like about favorites of mine. I mean, I really just, I know it's kind of a lame answer. I just really don't have favorites. One of the things that I'm very fortunate is that I'm always checking out new stuff. So even if I have a favorite today, a few days from now, I might have a new favorite. I will say though that the Schecter E1 Special, kind of the Explorer shape with the Sustainiac electronics, this one here. You see that? That's a pretty badass guitar. That might be, if I had just had to like run to a guitar that might be a favorite, that might be it. It's pretty awesome. Oh yeah. So I got a bunch of people asking me about the lamp. If you guys saw my The Triumph of Reason, it's an original song that I have on my channel that I did a music video for. Max Carlisle, The Triumph of Reason. It's a kerosene lantern that I had as a prop basically in the video. Although it does actually work. It is actually a functioning kerosene lantern. Although good luck trying to get kerosene in LA. Anyway. So it's just I just didn't have a good place to put it. So it's in the corner. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, somebody had a really good point there. So all these earthquakes I'm having, I might need I might need some emergency lighting or something. Hmm. Somebody was asking about Vito Bratta, great guitar player. I believe he is fully retired. Hmm. Hmm. Diesel? Somebody said diesel fuel will work in the lantern. You sure? All right. Okay, if you say so. All right. Now, guys, don't argue about the diesel stuff, okay? All right, guys. All right, guys, so we're a little bit over an hour now. I'll take a few more questions. Something I want to ask you guys, since I have you all here. I told you a little bit about some of the videos that I have coming up, some of the guitars that I'm going to be featuring and everything. Is there anything that you would like to see more of on my channel, or is there anything that I have never done before, like format-wise, that you guys would like to see more of? So, most of what I do is the gear reviews and that kind of stuff. You guys want me to, obviously I'm going to keep doing that, but do you want more of that, or would you like me to do maybe more interviews with people, lesson videos, anything like that? What you guys tell me, what would you like more of? Okay. Cheap guitars, 80s stuff. Computer recording, that's a good point. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I have not done very many videos on recording equipment or techniques. I do have one that's going to be coming up maybe in about a month, but it's more of like a standalone recording kind of thing. It's really cool, actually, but okay. Interviews with a jam. That's a good idea. Okay, so maybe have a guest guitar player on. We can do a jam, and then also tie it in with an interview, something like that. Would you guys like that format? Guitar plugins. Okay. Okay, interviews with jams, and it looks like I'm seeing a lot of like recording stuff, so plugins or computer stuff. Okay, lessons, exercises, modding. Okay, guitar mods. Yeah, I could definitely do more guitar mods. Okay. All right, guys. Well, guys, I think we're going to call it a day. But yeah, you guys have some really good suggestions on here. I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream. Have a really good time talking with everybody. I want to plug my Patreon page one more time. One of the things I do with the Patreon, like I said earlier, is I like to get feedback from people for stuff that I'm currently working on. So like before it gets released, I kind of, use the Patreon crowd as like beta testers, getting feedback on things that I'm about to release, to kind of test things. So definitely check that out, patreon.com/guitarmax. And you don't have, you can sign up for like $1 a month. It's a monthly thing, $1 a month on there. So not expensive. And guys, no big deal. If you don't want to get on the Patreon, no big deal. I really appreciate every single person who even just watches the video. Really, really cool. I love making these videos. I'm super stoked in that I have found this nice balance of doing something that I love to do, and also now, being able to kind of turn it into a career and everything. So I know that sounds, oh, I'm a career YouTube guy, but that's kind of what it has become. So anyway, guys, if you have any more suggestions, feel free to leave them in the regular comments section. This video will stay up and everything, and so people can watch it later on. And if you guys have any more suggestions or things you'd like to see in the future, definitely leave that in the comment section below. All right, guys, stay safe out there. It's all earthquakes over here in California. Hopefully things will calm down now. And again, I talked about it at the beginning, but for anybody who's tuned in later on about my arm, my recovery is going really, really good. I can play guitar, with no problems now after my surgery, and I've full range of motion in my wrist and my hand and elbow and all that stuff. So the only thing left now is I'm just working on getting my strength back in my bicep and everything. So it's going really, really good. Thank you so much, guys, for the birthday wishes. And thanks for all the questions, everybody who's concerned with my recovery of my arm. And again, thanks for all the feedback and the really good ideas for the channel. All right, guys. I will see you later. Have a great day, guys. See ya.